Well, hello there, my friend. Have you ever noticed how some days you feel like you're running on empty? Maybe that afternoon slump hits harder than it used to, or your bones seem to creak a little more with each step. You're not alone. In fact, there's something incredibly common happening to folks our age, something simple, yet so powerful it can transform how we feel right now. Today, I want to talk about the #1 vitamin most seniors are missing without even realizing it, and how filling that gap can add spark to your step and years to your life. You know, as we get wiser, our bodies change. They don't absorb nutrients quite like they did at 40 or 50. And there's one vitamin in particular, let's call it your longevity guardian, that slips away quietly. By 60, nearly 9 out of 10 of us aren't getting enough. But here's the beautiful part. Fixing this doesn't require expensive pills or drastic changes. It's about gentle, natural tweaks that fit into your everyday rhythm. So, what is this mystery vitamin? Drumroll, please. It's vitamin D. Now, I know you've heard of it. But stick with me. This isn't just about strong bones. Vitamin D is like a master key that unlocks energy, mood, immune strength, even heart health. When levels dip, it's like a fog rolls in over your vitality. But when you reclaim it, oh, the difference is night and day. Let me share a quick story. My neighbor Martha, 72, told me she'd accepted fatigue as just part of getting older. Then, her doctor checked her vitamin D. It was shockingly low. After a few weeks of simple changes, she was gardening at sunrise and dancing at her granddaughter's wedding. That's the power we're talking about. So, why are we so prone to running low? First, our skin thins with age, making it harder to produce vitamin D from sunlight even if you're outside. Second, our kidneys become less efficient at converting it into its active form. And third, many of us don't eat enough of the right foods. But don't worry, we'll fix that together. Now, let's talk about why this matters so much for you. Beyond just bones, vitamin D is your body's cheerleader. It calms inflammation that's slow-burn fire linked to arthritis and heart issues. It whispers to your immune system, hey, let's fight off those pesky colds. And here's my favorite. It lifts your mood by boosting serotonin. Think of it as sunshine in a bottle. But without the bottle, you might be wondering, could I be low? Well, let's look for the clues. Fatigue that lingers like an uninvited guest. Muscle weakness making stairs feel like mountains. Mood dips that cloud even a bright day. Or perhaps you're healing slower than you used to. Scratch that lingers. A cough that overstays its welcome. These aren't normal aging signs. They're whispers from your body saying, I need more sunshine fuel. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I drink milk. And that's wonderful. But here's the catch. Most foods naturally contain very little. Vitamin D, even fortified milk, only gives about 20% of your daily need. Relying on that alone is like trying to fill a bathtub with an eyedropper. So, where do we find this golden nutrient? The best source is gentle sunlight. Not baking for hours, just 10 to 15 minutes a day, arms and face exposed, preferably before noon. Think of it as a morning ritual. Sip your tea on the porch, deadhead the roses, or simply stand by an open window. Your skin will thank you. But what if you live where winters are gray? Or if mobility keeps you indoors? That brings us to foods packed with D, and no, I'm not suggesting anything exotic. Imagine this. A buttery piece of wild-caught salmon, just 3 ounces, gives you nearly a full day's dose. Or a humble can of sardines on toast. Even egg yolks from pasture-raised chickens deliver a solid punch. I can almost hear you saying, salmon. That's pricey. But here's a trick. Canned wild salmon is just as nutritious, easier on the budget, and ready in minutes. Toss it into a salad, mix with herbs for patties, or flake it into scrambled eggs. And those egg yolks. Save the whites for baking. The gold is in the yolk. Now, let's chat about mushrooms. Leave them on your windowsill for 30 minutes before cooking, and they'll soak up UV light like tiny sponges. Converting it into vitamin D, slice them into an omelet or stir fry, and you've got a double win. Flavor and fuel. By now, you've got two powerful tools in your kit: sunlight and smart foods. But how much is enough? For seniors, experts recommend 800–1000 IU daily. That's roughly 15 minutes of sun plus 1 serving of salmon, or 2 eggs plus UV-exposed mushrooms plus. Simple, right? Yet this small shift can reignite your energy, ease those aches, and help you wake up feeling lighter. Next, we'll dive into the delicious details, how to turn these ideas into meals you'll love. Plus, one surprising helper that boosts vitamin D absorption by 50%. But for now, try this. Tomorrow morning, take your coffee outside. Breathe deep. Let the light kiss your skin. You're not just soaking up, you're gathering life. Until then, remember, your best years aren't behind you. They're waiting in the sunshine. You know, when Martha started her vitamin D journey, she told me something wonderful. It's not about adding more to my day, it's about doing what I love differently. Like swapping her morning crossword at the kitchen table for doing it on her patio. Or turning her Thursday tuna salad into a salmon salad. Tiny tweaks, big rewards. Today, let's turn those sunlight and food tips into real, joyful habits. Making vitamin D delicious, no fancy skills needed. First, let's talk eggs. Pure liquid sunshine. But here's the secret. How you cook it matters. Scramble or fry it gently. Don't blast it into rubber. Overcooking destroys up to half the vitamin D. Martha's favorite. A soft boiled egg with toasted sourdough. She dips the toast right into that creamy yolk. Heaven. And if you can find pasture-raised eggs, they pack 3 times more vitamin D than conventional ones. Now, about salmon. Canned wild salmon is a pantry superhero, cheaper than fresh, just as nourishing. Drain it, flake it, and mix with a spoonful of Greek yogurt or mayo, diced celery, a squeeze of lemon, and dill. Pile it onto dark leafy green spinach or kale, which brings me to our first critical helper, the bone guardian. Nutrient, vitamin K2. See this. Vitamin K2 is like vitamin D's best friend. Without it, all that glorious vitamin D can't fully protect your bones or heart. Think of it this way. Vitamin D opens the door for calcium to enter your blood. But K2 directs that calcium straight to your bones, away from your arteries where it can cause harm. Where to find K2 naturally? Leafy greens, kale, spinach, parsley. Fermented foods. Try a tablespoon of sauerkraut on your salmon salad. Cheese, especially Gouda or Brie. Egg yolks, another win for those pasture-raised eggs. Martha adds a handful of spinach to her morning smoothie and melts a slice of Gouda on her afternoon apple slices. Feels like a treat, not medicine. She laughs. Mushroom magic. Turn sunlight into supper. Host places mushrooms on a sunny windowsill. Remember how we talked about leaving mushrooms in the sun? Just 30 minutes of direct light boosts their vitamin D by 100%. Slice them thick. Lay them gill-side up on the windowsill while you sip your tea. Then them in olive oil with garlic. Toss them into omelets with those vitamin-rich yolks. Lentil soup adds earthy depth, or simply pile them on whole grain toast with a sprinkle of thyme. Pro tip: portobello mushrooms work best there. Broad caps soak up sunlight like champions. The magnesium factor: wake up your vitamin D. Here's a surprise: up to 50% of us, over 60, are low in magnesium, the spark plug that activates vitamin D in your body. Without it, vitamin D just sleeps. Signs: you might need more. Leg cramps at night, restless sleep, or feeling wired but tired. Easy magnesium fixes: pumpkin seeds. Sprinkle on oatmeal or salads. 2 tablespoons equals 40% of your daily need. Almonds, a small handful as a snack. Dark chocolate, yes, really. 1 square, 70% cacao with your afternoon tea. Epsom salt baths. Soak for 20 minutes. Magnesium absorbs through your skin while you relax. Martha keeps roasted pumpkin seeds in a mason jar by her reading chair. 2 birds, 1 stone, she winks. Magnesium asterisk and underscore, no more midnight leg cramps. 3 simple meal ideas that do all the work for you. 1 sunrise power bowl, soft boiled pasture, egg, sun-charged mushrooms plus wilted spinach. 4K2, sprinkle of drizzle with olive oil. 2 open face longevity sandwich, whole grain toast plus mashed sardines rich in D. Sliced avocado plus sauerkraut. K2, cracked black pepper. 3 cozy evening soup, lentil soup with canned salmon stirred in at the end. Heat gently. Handful of kale. K2, plus side of 1 square dark chocolate magnesium. But what if I hate fish? Host leans forward kindly. Not a fan of salmon or sardines. No problem. Try cod liver oil. Just 1 teaspoon equals 2 days vitamin D. Stir into orange juice or blend into a smoothie. Fortified foods. Look for cereals or plant milks with D3, not D2 tits. Less effective. UV exposed mushrooms daily. Add them to sauces, stews, or even blend into meatloaf. The key: consistency over perfection. 1 salmon patty a week plus daily sun breaks plus a handful of spinach equals monumental change. You've just unlocked the second pillar of your vitamin D revival: delicious food synergy. But what about when the sun hides for weeks? Or if mobility limits your time outdoors? And how do you know if these changes are working? We'll cover smart supplementation without breaking the bank. 3 gentle indoor sun alternatives, and Martha's favorite 60-second energy test. Until then, try this. Tomorrow, set your mushrooms on the sill and savor an extra 5 minutes in the morning light. You're not just feeding your body, you're honoring it. Remember, friend, every small step is a spark. Let it glow. You know, Martha sent me a note last week that made my heart smile. She wrote, "I never realized how much I'd missed the sunrise until I started greeting it again." That's the beautiful ripple effect of this journey. It's not just about vitamin D. It's about reconnecting with life's simple rhythms. But let's be real. Life isn't always sunny. Maybe you live where winters are long, or arthritis keeps you indoors. Maybe you've tried eating salmon twice a week and sitting by the window, but wonder, is it enough? Today, we'll make sure nothing stands between you and vibrant energy. When the sun doesn't shine, your indoor toolkit. Host places the plant down, picks up a sleek lamp. First, let's talk light therapy lamps. Not the harsh ones from the 80s. Modern full-spectrum lamps mimic natural sunlight. Just 20 to 30 minutes while you read or sip tea can boost vitamin D and mood. Look for lamps with 10,000 lux brightness and UVB emission like the Happy Light or Carix. Martha uses hers during breakfast. I point it toward my face, not directly, and pretend I'm at a cafe in Tuscany. But what about vitamin D from windows? Sadly, most glass blocks UVB rays the very rays your skin needs. That's why stepping outside, even onto a balcony or porch, makes all the difference. If you can't, open the window wide on mild days. Let that unfiltered light touch your skin for just 10 minutes. Supplements, your safety net without the guesswork. Sometimes, food and sunlight need backup, especially if your levels are very low. Ask your doctor for a simple blood test. But shelves are crowded with confusing options. Let's simplify. 1. Choose D3 cholecalciferol, not D2. D3 is what your body makes from sunlight. It's 2 to 3x more effective. To liquid drops or soft goals beat hard pills. Why? As we age, we produce less stomach acid to break down tablets. 3. Pair it with K2 and magnesium like we discussed last time. Many brands combine them. Look for D3 plus K2 on labels. Dosage sweet spot. For maintenance, 1000 IU daily is safe for most. If you're deficient, your doctor may suggest 2000 to 5000 IU short term. Never megadose. Too much can cause harm. Pro tip. Take your D3 with your largest meal. Fat helps absorption. Stir a drop into oatmeal or blend into a smoothie. I take vitamin D. Why don't I feel better? If you've tried supplements without results, listen closely. Magnesium deficiency could be the culprit. Remember, magnesium activates vitamin D. Without it, D just pools in your body, unused. Martha learned this the hard way. I took D3 for months, but still felt sluggish. Then I added pumpkin seeds in Epsom salt soaks, and within weeks, I was planting tulip bulbs. Martha's 60-second energy test. Track your progress. You don't need a blood test to feel changes. Try this weekly check-in. Stair test. Time how long it takes to climb 10 stairs. Less huffing, puffing. Progress. Mood journal. Rate your day from foggy to sunny. More suns over time. Victory. The sock test. Can you put on socks while standing? Better balance equals stronger muscles. Busting 3 big vitamin D myths. Myth 1. I live in Florida. Truth. After 60, skin produces 75% less D even in sunshine states. Daily habits still matter. Myth 2. All milk is fortified with enough D. Truth. 1 glass has only 100 to 125 IU. You'd need 8 glasses daily to hit 1000 IU. Myth 3. If I take supplements, I don't need sunlight or dairy-rich foods. Truth. Sunlight and whole foods give you bonus helper. Nutrients no pill can match. Your longevity prescription. Small steps, big leaps. Friend, we've covered so much ground together. Let's weave it into your daily tapestry. Gives morning, 10 minutes outdoors, or by an open window with your tea, coffee. Gives meals. Add 1 dairy-rich food, daily egg yolk, salmon, or sun-charged mushrooms. Gives snacks, a handful of pumpkin seeds or almonds. Magnesium. Gives evening. Relax in an Epsom salt bath 2x week. Remember, this isn't about perfection. Forgot your mushrooms today. No guilt. Rainy week. Use your lamp. What matters is showing up for yourself consistently, kindly. You've spent decades caring for others. Now, let your vitamin D journey be a love letter to yourself. When Martha tends her garden now, she whispers, "This is for me." And that's my wish for you: more mornings that feel like possibilities, more energy to chase what brings you joy, more years lived fully _ A request from my heart. If this series lifted your spirits or gave you hope, do me a kindness. Tap that like button. It tells YouTube this matters to our wonderful 60+ community. Subscribe and click the bell wheel. Keep exploring simple, powerful ways to thrive together. Comment below. What's one small change you'll try this week? I read every single one. You are *, not _ defined by a number. You are living proof that wisdom, grace, and vitality only deepen with time. Keep gathering sunshine, my friend. The world needs your light. Until next time, here's to your health, your joy, and the incredible life still blooming ahead of you.